So there's no Richard Dixon on the back, giving a debut to his Shepherd. The lights go out, and away we go. Great start by Bill Cowley from the second row of the grid. He's moved into the lead straight away. David Bartholomew, though, from pole position, has not got away at all well. He's got about half the field ahead of him now as they head into the first corner. It's going to be Bill Cowley leading. It's going to be Dave Hodkin, I think, in second in the yellow HRD, and then Peter Bove in third place. But David Bartholomew here is going to have a lot of work to do in the PRS.
I don't think we've seen any good pole position starts yet today. There was a small dry patch on the start line, I saw, so the track is drying out, but it is wetter on other sections, including the old hairpin, where Peter Bove is there in third position, ahead of Steve Boover, who came second in the championship last year behind Bove. There's the 16 car of James Affleck, sometime mini racer. But there is Bartholomew then in the 17 car, the 2015 champion, the lap record holder. Lap record holding car around this circuit, I think, in the hands of Ed Piver. And Bartholomew is back up to something like fifth position. And Steve Boover's made a mistake and got into the gravel.
Yes, that's at Coppice Corner. He's gone more or less straight on there. I imagine he just got onto a wetter part of the circuit. He couldn't get the car braked and turned in, and off he's gone skating into the gravel. Let's hope he comes out of the other side of that. Meanwhile, for the lead, you've got Bill Cowley, number 77 here, and Dave Hodkin, number 63, the 2013 champion, Dave Hodkin, in the HRD Mark 1. This now the HRD Mark 2, as Bill Cowley is driving the car, originally built and raced by his grandfather, Bill Cowley, as well. Nigel Cowley, his father, has been competing in the intervening period. And a spin for Dan Welsh there, number 46, I'm afraid. Just coming out of the chicane. Looks like he's going to get going again right at the back, but here are the leaders, Josh. They're pulling away from the rest.
Yeah, someone going really well is James Jeffrey. He's amongst all these champions in fourth position in the Race Kits Falcon, which is great to see for the driver from Lincolnshire in the ex-Oliver Collett car that has been a winning machine in the past. It's got a new livery on it now, and James Jeffrey driving it really well, keeping up with the 8-time champion Peter Bove. There they are, third, fourth and fifth, because David Bartholomew has caught them. But these five are a long way ahead of the rest, but it's very competitive, top five.
Certainly is. David Bartholomew with these two now. About 2 seconds between the first pair and then the next three cars at the moment.
James Jeffrey is in danger of losing his Class B status this weekend, I think, if you are in Class B, if you haven't finished on the podium before, and he's very close to being in a podium spot.
Yes, and last year's champion in Class B was Drake Doherty, who took his first ever podium in the final round of the championship. Second place it was at Alton Park with perfect timing, having already wrapped up the Class B championship in the first race. But yeah, James Jeffrey is going to be in two minds, isn't he? Isn't he going to go for third place or not? At the moment he's got David Bartholomew to try and contend with, so that might not be a problem after all.
He has got a novice cross on the back, but I don't think that's for him. That's for his partner, David Reed, his racing partner, who will share that car during the course of the season. He's James Jeffrey, a bit more experienced. And Bartholomew has gone through on the inside at Redgate, but I don't think James Jeffrey's going to give that up. I think he's raced BMWs and things like that in the past, but he can't quite draw up back alongside Bartholomew. And that PRS, a very quick car. It's won so many 750 Formula races. Hasn't won so many championships, though, because it's a car that tends to be shared during the course of the season. Bartholomew made a small mistake there. Up over the curve, which has given James Jeffrey a chance to get back alongside.
It does. Let's see if he can make anything of it as they come through Schwantz Curve. No, I don't think he can. Yeah, the PRS is the Pither Rothery special. Ed Pither and Richard Rothery have done most of the driving in recent seasons. David Bartholomew with just more occasional outings. He did have that championship title 9 years ago. Before that, he was a champion in low cost as well. So he's another long-time competitor, on and off with the 750 Motor Club. Bill Cowley, also a long-time competitor. He was the 2017 champion.
And he's under pressure here because Dave Hodkin's drawn up alongside and breaks later into the Robert chicane to take the lead. We haven't seen huge amounts of Dave Hodkin over the last few seasons, but he's normally quick when he's out, and now he's taken the lead, but Cowley's going to fight back on the Exeter corner. Of course, it was in wet conditions, wetter than this, when Bill Cowley took his first ever victory in that remarkable race at Cadwell Park over a decade ago now.
Yes.
But it's certainly not that wet today. But he has lost the lead to Dave Hodkin, who sets the aim shot fastest lap at 1:30.1.
Yeah, Dave Hodkin then, who's only been on-track occasionally. He's had this car built for probably 2 or 3 years now, but he's only been able to make occasional appearances with it. And when he has done, he's usually been quick. Occasionally it's been a little bit fragile as well, so let's hope it's just tending towards the former on this occasion. He's got Bill Cowley behind him, and useless trivia about Bill Cowley: he was the last champion in 750 Formula not to have the 3 consecutive letters OVE in his surname, because Peter Bove and Mark Glover have wrapped up 6 titles between them since then.
Now Hodkin's ahead, he's starting to pull clear. The change to third, David Bartholomew is ahead of Peter Bove. So this championship defence is looking for the 9th title. Isn't going particularly well for Bove in round 1. I think he only finished off the podium once last season. He doesn't really want to start the season that way, but that may be the case, because he's down to 4th and falling away from Bartholomew, who is going after the top 2. Dave Hodkin, I wonder if he realises that Bartholomew is going to be quick, so he's trying to get away early before Bartholomew catches Cowley.
9 minutes to go. Talking about Peter Bove, though, the strength of his particular last few seasons has been his consistency. He's sort of tended to do all of the races and usually finish them well up the order, if not win them, whereas others had dramas. Talking of dramas, that's another one for Dan Welsh, number 46, who's this time found the grass at, really probably coming out of Hollywood, right before he really got down the Crater curves. And it's probably not going to be easy to get that back onto the circuit, given how treacherous the conditions are off track here at Donington Park today, but he's going to give it a go.
That's a car that's been raced very rarely. Another unique car, the WR1, the Welsh Racing one. It's had an outing at Mallory Park, I think, a couple of times, but hasn't raced much more than that. Welsh was very quick, wasn't he, in the race kits a number of seasons ago. I think he was a Class B champion in 15, but this new car has been a bit of a struggle to get out, but it's out this weekend. Shame it's been off a couple of times. Top 3 together. They
are now, aren't they? Bartholomew has narrowed the gap. He was 1.6 seconds behind Bill Cowley at the beginning of the lap. It's probably maybe 3 or 4 tenths of a second now as they head through Compass Corner. By the end of the lap, they are going to be together. Bartholomew, remind you, was on pole position. It was 0.154 seconds faster than anybody else in practice, but the top 4 were covered by only 8 tenths. Those 4 current and former champions.
Bartholomew's gone 3 seconds quicker than qualifying, a 1 minute 28.6 on the previous lap. He takes second from Cowley into the Robert chicane. Cowley's quicker through here though, when Bartholomew gets a bit of a wiggle on, but I think he's going to be able to hang on ahead of Cowley. It's a very slippery aerodynamic car, the Piva Rovery Special, and despite the weaker exit, he's able to pull clear of Cowley by the time they get to Redgate. He's 1.4 seconds behind Hodkin, and their fastest laps, Bartholomew is 8 tenths quicker, so with pretty much half the race still to go, he has got time to catch the leader.
Yeah, absolutely right. So down to the old hairpin they come for the 6th time in this race, and is it three strikes and you're out? I don't know. That's another spin, I'm afraid, for Daniel Welsh in the 46 car. He's 16th and last at the moment because Alex Backnell has got the BGN Scholar ahead of Welsh. Perhaps not too surprising given Welsh's various travails. Now, are we going to see David Bartholomew catch Dave Hodkin for the lead? There was just under a second and a half between the beginning of the lap. Bartholomew has certainly put a few car lengths between himself and Bill Cowley, but it's still looking like a reasonably healthy advantage for Hodkin up at Coppice.
Yeah, Hodkin going quickly here. Now, because it's drying out, I wonder if looking after tyres is going to be a thing here. It's a short race, only 15 minutes, but these wet racing tyres may go off in these dry conditions. There's no spray around much of the circuit now. There are dry patches in places. Apart from the chicane, that's wet still, strangely. And Bartholomew perhaps makes a small mistake. I wonder how quick this lap from Hodkin... Yeah, he makes another mistake. How quick this lap from Hodkin's going to be. Yeah, he's on the fastest lap, a 1 minute 28.574. And that mistake for Bartholomew gives Cowley another chance. But the car's so quick in a straight line, the PRS, and Cowley has to slot in behind again.
Yeah, the twisty bits generally favour Bill Cowley a little bit more, and on a long straight like the Wheatcross straight, he couldn't find a way through. Track limits might start to become an issue as the circuit dries out. Of course, the drivers can use the curbs. They can't necessarily use the green bits behind the curbs. The rules changed on track limits part way through last season. You quite remember the first few races today. It's not really been an issue, but it might start to become one as the day goes on.
And different to European rules, FIA rules, as one driver found out at Oulton Park on Saturday and made their British racing debut by having all their lap times deleted in qualifying. So some drivers, not necessarily today, but racers that come to race in Britain on Motorsport UK regulations need to be aware of that. So if there's anyone watching at home that wonders why the ruling is different, well, that's just because the governing body, Motorsport UK, run British motorsport races rather than the FIA, who run international races.
I thought someone might have mentioned it to him before we went out on circuit. Anyway, back here at Donington Park, we've still got Dave Hodkin leading. We've got David Bartholomew second and Bill Cowley third. That was just about 3 seconds between Hodkin and Bartholomew at the end of the previous lap, which was lap 6. Lap 7 now being completed. Hodkin has gone through, Bartholomew's gone through, and the gap is almost exactly the same as it was before. Another new fastest lap for Hodkin, a 1:28 for 5:15, but personal bests for Bartholomew and Cowley as well, and also for Bove and Jeffrey for that matter.
So they're all within 0.8 of a second, just like they were in qualifying. And Jeffrey is really on terms with Peter Bove here. This is an excellent performance. I think Jeffrey did do a few races last year, but he certainly didn't run this high up the order.
Did half of the season's races with David Reed, and he did get a couple of sort of 6th or 7th place finishes along the way.
But this is probably it's unusual to have 4 former champions on the grid, I think, all in the same race. So it's a very competitive grid. They've got lap Dan Welsh, who is still going. I'm not sure if the car has actually finished a race before, so despite his off-track excursions, perhaps he can achieve that today. But there is James Jeffrey then, the mechanical engineer from Lincolnshire, and still on terms with Peter Bove, the driver from Hertfordshire.
I suspect Welsh were using his engineering skill to try to get sort of the handling out on that car. I suspect that's been something that's been a bit of a problem for him. So Peter Bove here catching Bill Cowley down towards the Robert Chicane. This is for 3rd place, and you've got James Jeffrey there in the ex-Ollie Collett car, so it's been a race-winning car. And that is the number 6 car retiring. That's Simon Bolter in the Derby 92J out of the race, the man from Welton.
No one improves on their lap times in that top 5 this time, but they're again all separated by very little. The quickest of them is Bartholomew, but it's only a couple of attempts quicker than Hodkin. As they turn their way now onto Hollywood and then down the Craner curves for what is the 9th lap of the race. And Bolter's the first retirement, everybody else still going, which is good to see. Shame for Simon Bolter in one of the Derbies. And there's Alex Bagnall going a lap down in that car making its debut. It's, I think, got some work to do, that machine. It's a long way off the pace. Alex Bagnall has been a podium finisher, I think, in 750 Formula before. He
has, but trying to make that car work was part of the excitement of 750 Formula, I say 75th anniversary. It's actually also the 75th championship, because the first championship wasn't until 1950 when Charles Bulmer took the title. And it's been going every year since then. It's a phenomenon in British motorsport, key part of British motorsport history, and the Formula 1 which 750 Motor Club was built in terms of its racing exploits. Now, James Jeffrey is having a go at Peter Bove, who has lost ground to Bill Cowley and he's gone through. So James Jeffrey up to 4th place. Has Peter Bove got a problem, I wonder?
Or has Jeffrey just got a bit more pace, because he has been behind him for a long time? He saw Cowley looking for the wet patches. Hodkin did the best lap at 1:28.3, but immediately Bartholomew bettered it at 1:27.6, so the lead gap's down to 2.2 seconds.
It was a slow lap from Peter Bove, a 1:31.4, so about nearly 3 seconds off his best, so he may have an issue. He may have made a slight mistake.
They crossed the line with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go, and they are doing 1:28, so this will probably be the last lap of the race.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that then. Dave Hodkin, number 63 in the HRD. Don't think we saw him at all last season, did we? Dave Hodkin, or did we?
I think one meeting, maybe.
Yeah.
He did get 2 second places actually.
That's
on that,
right.
On that occasion.
I remember now. He did pick up a couple of second places. So Hodkin looking for a winning start to 2024. Got 2 seconds in hand over David Bartholomew at the moment. He's got 3.5 seconds over Bill Cowley. There's Bartholomew now just going through shot. There's Cowley. And here comes Dave Hodkin in this sort of lemon yellow HRD in the sunshine now at Donington Park. Heading into the Robert Chicane for the final time. Well, is it the final time? We'll see if the checker flag is waved or not. It's going to be very touch and go. Out of the final corner he comes. Does he get the flag? Yes, he does. Checkered flag, he waves then, and Dave Hodkin wins round 1 of the Raceparts 750 Formula Championship. David Bartholomew is second. Bill Cowley is going to be in third place. Who's going to be fourth? James Jeffrey has gone across the line now in fourth. Peter Bove has survived in fifth. Another slow lap from him, though, so I think he probably has been troubled a little bit towards the end, but he was still well clear of Matthew Unwin, who I think is only just heading down the back straight now. So a bit of a scare for Peter Bove towards the end, perhaps.
Yeah, I wonder if it was tyres related or something more terminal that he'll have to sort out before the second race of the afternoon. There's Matthew Unwin, 6th position for the 2022 Class B champion. So he's in the overall division nowadays and takes 6th. And then Steve Boover, who was the runner-up in the championship last year, takes 7th. And then Jake Doherty, he's a bit further back, isn't he? He is there in 8th position in the car that is prepared by Bob Simpson. It's the 4th generation of car the Simpson family have built. Jake, the grandson of Bob Simpson, long time 750 Formula driver, and Jake probably hasn't done that much race in the rain because there wasn't that many wet races last year from my memory.
No, I think you're probably right there. So he takes 8th place. James Affleck's going to be 9th, and Hugh Davis there. They're going to complete the top 10 in that opening race of the season for the Raceparts 750 Formula Championship. Entertaining it was too. Let's have a look, if we can, in a moment at the results. There we go. Dave Hodkin, number 63, who went at 10 laps completed in that 15-minute race. And he did that in the HRD Mark II, 3.649 seconds faster than second, number 17, David Bartholomew, in the PRS 1B. Third was number 77, Bill Cowley, in the Cowley Mark IV. Then fourth was our Class B winner, number 31, James Jeffrey, in the Race Kits Falcon. Fifth was number 1, the reigning champion, Peter Bove. 6th was 39, Matthew Unwin. 7th was number 7, Steve Boother. 8th was number 5, Jake Doherty. 9th was 16, James Affleck, and rounding out the top 10 and completing the Class B podium was number 21, Hugh Davis. Then it was Will Smith, Mark Windley, Martin Depper, and the much spinning Dan Welsh in 14th. And I think just a couple more cars. Simon Bolter was a retirement, and I think Alex Bagnall also pitted towards the end of that race as well. More Raceparts 750 Formula Championship action at the end of the day. They're back out at around about 5:50 this evening for their second race. Reminder that coming up next, it's the Calm All Porsche Trophy. Also a quick reminder, you can go to 750mc.co.uk. You can find the digital race programme there to supplement your enjoyment of the day's racing, whether you're at the circuit or watching the live stream. That's also where you'll find the links to live timing, the calendar page as well, and of course the live stream. Talking of which, the next live stream after this is the next 750 Motor Club event, and that's at Croft in 3 weeks' time. So do join us for the racing from North Yorkshire, where we'll have a completely different cast of championships and series for your enjoyment then. But we're waiting for the drivers to get themselves out of their cars down in the pit lane at the end of that Raceparts 750 Formula Championship race. We'll get the circuit cleared as well. Good to see a few spectators now in the grandstand, having seen the sun come out. They've discarded their umbrellas and started to slap on the sun hats and the factor 50, no doubt, such as the changing British weather hour by hour. And they will look forward to the Calm All Porsche Trophy, which will come onto the circuit very shortly indeed for their 40-minute race with mandatory pit stops as well. But we're just waiting for the drivers from the 750 Formula Championship to get out of their cars, as I say. Yusuf will be down there trying to shepherd them all into position. And then we'll grab a word with our top 3. Bill Cowley, David Bartholomew and Dave Hodkin, all being well. And let's head down to Yusuf now. He is in the pit lane.
Hello everyone. It would appear that our race winner has done a runner or maybe a driver. So we're going to jump on over to our second place driver, David Bartholomew. pretty good result out there.
It was okay, yeah. The lights changed to red and it dropped out of first gear, so I had 2 goes to put it back into first gear. It wouldn't go in, so it was a second gear start, which messed things up a little bit from there, but it was a good race after that. We had a good race with Bill. I don't think I was going to catch Dave in the lead, so second was probably the best result today.
Well, if it's any consolation, you got fastest lap on the penultimate lap, so you certainly had the pace.
Yeah, it always seemed just slightly too far away, and we kept meeting traffic. But yeah, it was getting harder towards the end. It was getting a bit slippier, so I didn't want to push it too hard.
I was about to ask about the track conditions because it looked like it was drying up and getting quicker.
It was drying up, but the wets weren't working very well on the dry bits, and it wasn't wet enough on the wet bits, so it was a bit compromised. But it was good fun. It was good fun.
Will it be slicks then for the next race?
I think if it carries on like this, it'd be good to get the slicks on, wouldn't it? It'd be a good race. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, thank you very much, David, and catch you in the next one. Right, and with that, we'll move on to Bill Cowley in the number 77. Bill, how did you find it out there?
Yeah, it was greasy. I had a good run at the beginning. I wasn't expecting to be leading, to be honest. Dave and Dave, both of them hell of a lot quicker on the straights. I'm quite surprised Dave Ogden didn't crash into me actually, because he's got a bit of a thing about doing that. But no, well done to him. Well done to Dave Bartholomew as well. I rate Dave B as a good driver, so don't mind finishing second to him.
Well, going on to what you're talking about, straight line speed, do you think with the track drying up it's just going to get a little bit more difficult for you as the day goes on?
No, not really. I think my race really is with Peter Bove and your man in the black race kit. So, so to be leading for a few laps was half decent, so I wasn't expecting that. We had a bit of a nightmare of a morning, had bloody gearboxes out and all that jazz. So, and I was nursing a rear brake problem as well, which brakes are sticking on. So, it is what it is. But yeah, happy with third.
Well, you get to take off leading a race and a podium then to start off your season. Good job and catch you in the next one.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, with that, we have our next race already gridding up. They do have a green flag lap, so we're going to throw to a quick ad break, and we'll be back shortly.